Hello guys, good morning. A quick rundown on the market. Let's see what's happened so far. We're still in the consolidation, guys. We're still in the consolidation. Remember, for DXY, I said I needed to see price break above this high to change my bias back to bullish, and then I would like to wait for a pullback into this zone, the inverted fair value gap, right? The daily inverted fair value gap, to then get a trade, right? Which will be me selling on GU or EU, right? But as you can see, we're still in the range, right, of this candle. This candle is high and this candle is low. We're still in the range. And if we're to go by internal structure alone, I would say we're bearish, right? That's if we're to go by internal structure, right? We're bearish, and we could see price, come mitigate this fair value gap and then continue lower, right? We could see that because, I mean, we've broken this, call it microstructure here, right? It's not a major structure. So, dollar remains the same, right? It remains the same. I would like to see price come down, up to this point. There's no point trying to take a trade here, right? And that's one of the reasons why I said counter trading is I mean, you can get good trades, but when you counter trade, it's it's not always ideal. The setups are not always ideal, right? Now imagine this: if someone is on the lower time frame trying to trade this, you probably just lose your mind, right? So try to just lose your mind because 1 minute you're bearish, the next minute you're bullish, the next minute you're bearish, right? I'm sure when people saw this pullback and a push, they were like, yes, we're going back to the top. But price came back down again, right? And we're just in the consolidation, like I've said. It's 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 a consolidation, and July is setting out to be a consolidation month, right? So I want to see how this week ends, right? I want to see how this week ends. So if this week also ends inside this candle, this previous week's candle, then I think it confirms that will be like first and second week of July consolidated, and we'll have like 2 more weeks, right? Right. So you see, it's still forming, and it still ties with what I said here. We need to see price create this fair value gap, then maybe August will come, sweep it, and then we start going higher again. So for me, my highest probability trade will come from this point. If we get this, if we get price to, after the July monthly close, right? The candle closes. If this fair value gap is still open, we hope that August will start with a sweep of July's low, right, into the fair value gap, and then we continue higher. That would be the high probability trade, right? The highest probability trade for me would be to see that, even get maybe a little more extension into the order block here, right? Monthly order block. See, I've marked it out, so I'm just waiting to see what price would give, and then I'll react accordingly, right? So we have a framework to work with here. Let's see how it develops over the coming weeks. All right. So for now on the XY, I'm still on the sidelines. I'm okay not taking any trade on EU and GU at the moment because there's no clear direction in the market at the moment, right? There's no clear direction. If you're scalping, I mean, you could benefit from the spikes, right? You could benefit from the spikes, but I don't scalp. So yeah, I don't scalp. So let's go to gold. As for gold, hmm, yes, gold. Let me get this things out. Okay. Yes. So for gold, sorry. For gold, we're having this, right? We traded into this other block here, right? We traded into this other block. Let me see what silver is doing. Okay. 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 Oh, okay. That's nice. That's nice. Then, hmm, if this is the case, let's see. We have a fair value gap on silver here. It's minute too, but I mean, this is me stretching. Right. This is also a consolidation. Wow. It is. It is. It is a consolidation. So we need to see, but we could see price, after sweeping this and then breaking this microstructure here, we could see price do this and continue higher. If I want to be bullish on this market, right, I would prefer to see another break above this, right? Another break above this before I, you know, decide to take any trade on the silver market, right? So we're down here, like to see a break, then maybe target this high here, right? Low hanging fruit. But I need to see something like this first before um, I think of taking longs in the market. Right. If you go to gold, gold is start here and still the same, still the same, still the same, still the same, right? Still the same for gold. Yeah, so here I said I wanted to see this was a fair value gap. Think for our fair value gap. Yes, and we closed above it. Even closed above this, which is a bullish sign to me. But let's see if we get this right. So let's see if we get another break above this. Once we get another break above this, then we can consider uh because once we get another break above this, we can consider entering the market, right? Like this. So I'm going to see how price will react. Now we're in this zone. We could get maybe a sweep of liquidity here. And we're sweeping this low, right? We could get this, we already swept this. So we already swept this here while coming into the zone. So let's see, on the 1 hour, we could come back down to sweep this low or even use it as support. But for gold, I prefer to use the, what is it called? The extreme order blocks, right? Yes, for gold, I like to use the extreme order blocks. So let's see if we get a deeper retracement into this zone, right? And then once we start getting, you know, internal, uh, let's say we get this, right, on the lower time frame, you could look to risk something small to, take this high and then maybe to also take this high. So let's see. We just have to be mindful and then see what the market gives. Right now, there's no clear direction in the market, right? There's really no clear direction in the market. But now that we have this, we could look for uh, price reacting off of this zone and then going higher. So that's one thing to have in mind. We could also drop down though. Yes, we could also continue this downward momentum since it's the underlying trend at the moment. We are bearish on gold at the moment, but this could be the start of a bullish retracement, right? This could be the start of a bullish retracement. So you should also have that in mind, right? Because once we take out this high, the next high is this. If we take this high and price feels it wants to continue higher, because look at this, we've not taken our liquidity from this highs here, right? And one of them has to be swept at some point before we continue going down if we would be doing that, right? Because for me, the main target for gold is this monthly fair value gap, this one here, right? We have, no, not this one, but we have, you can see we have this here. Oh, okay. Yes. We also have a monthly fair value gap here, which also ties with my bullish stance, right? So we could get July consolidate and then same thing for other pairs, right? We get the push into this. Uh, we get a push into this. August candle pushes into the monthly fair value gap and then we continue lower, right? We continue to the downside. So that's something to always look out for, right? That's why you always have to check all the time frames. So with this, I can understand why we're consolidating, right? We're forming this fair value gap here. And once this candle closes, this monthly candle, which is July's month, right? Yeah, that's this July. Once it closes, then we'll be looking to see if August will, um, trade into it and then start coming down, right? So this will be your first target, and then this will be your second target. So let's see. All right. For EU, right? We also created a monthly fair value gap on EU, right? So if we're creating a monthly fair value gap on EU, um, if we're creating a monthly fair value gap on EU, it means it's the high of this candle, which is the high of um, July will be swept, right? will be swept. So we have the monthly order block here as well. We could use this, but I think I prefer this one. I prefer this one. Could use this as well. So this is also valid because you see it create this push up, swept the liquidity, and then price has finally closed below it. So we could get something like of this sort. I think that's what's coming up now into this, depending on the strength of the currency. If EU gets stronger at some point, then we most definitely will see it trading higher into the zone, right? Before continuing down to this monthly fair value gap, right? But if it's the weaker pair, right? If it's still very weak, then it might not go all the way to this side. We could just get it tagging the fair value gap, and then continuing downwards, right? So that's um that's my forecast for like the coming months. This is not going to happen immediately. Besides, we're still trading inside this candle, right? So this is for the forecast for like, let's say August, September, right? Yes, because we could get maybe two bullish candles. We get this, and then August might be just a bullish candle, before September starts reversing October. So it could take a lot. It could take a while. It could take a while, right? It could take a while. Look at how many months we spent here, right? We started coming down here. We swept this. This was March, right? Then April, we used April to pull back into the zone, right? Then May, we started. So May started the fair value gap. So May, June confirmed that we're bearish, right? June was the candle that confirmed we're bearish. So if we have June confirming bearishness, it means um, July, besides July is still inside this June's candle. July might consolidate to, give us this formation. So once May, June, July, right, gives us this fair value gap. Then August will trade into it, right? Let me use could because we could also see August coming to do something like this to build more liquidity, right? And then closing here. But what I would like to see in price is from August going, we see some sort of pullback into this zone, right? And then we follow through and then take the lows, right? Take this low. This will be your main target, right? Once price hits here, then we're bound we're bound to, continue the cycle, another pullback again until we hit the zone, right? Until we hit the zone and maybe even go lower. But this is my first uh, major point of interest. Once we hit here, I'm going to slow down a bit on the market and I'll watch to see how the market develops, right? So for now, we're just here. We're consolidated, right? You see the highs and the lows of this candle. The previous week closed inside, and now this week, today is Wednesday. So let's see how it goes, right? Let's see how it goes. 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 So here's the monthly high. This was April, yeah. So I mean, if price should come here, you enter and then put your stop loss here. You are good to go. You can hold this trade for months, right? Hold this trade for months. Hold it for months. So let's watch and see. Let's go to the daily and see. Okay, now this is even more visible, right? Now we're broken above this. Hmm? You could see price do this and then continue higher. But I mean, just look at the price action. There's no momentum in the market, right? Just choppy, choppy, choppy price action. And if you're not careful in this market, you're going to lose a lot of money, right? You're going to lose a lot of money. You're going to lose a lot of money. So, guys, be careful out there, okay? Let's just wait to see some form of direction, right? Need to see some form of direction. So, for me, all these highs, like I keep saying, all these highs are highs that could be targeted, right? This, this. They are highs that could be targeted. Why I'm you wanna know why I'm saying that? Because you see, the 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 current price leg, right, starts here and it ends here. So 50% of this range is around here. And if we're going to go, if this is the major pullback we're going to have, right? If this is because I mean there are micro and major pullbacks, right? Because we could use the daily, right? If we use the daily pullback, then price will not go above this. I don't know if you get me. We could just move all the way to this daily fair value gap and continue downwards. But if we're um, bound on taking liquidity, all these highs are, we've not taken any liquidity here. So this high is liquidity. There are orders sitting here. This high liquidity as well. Even this high here, it's liquidity. Price could go all the way to this point. While most people will change their bias to bullish, I'll still be bearish. As long as we're not taking out this high, I'm still bearish. Because right now the current price leg is from this low, sorry, from this low to this high, right? From this low to this high. That's the current price leg. And all these highs are fair game. All these highs, one, two, three, they are all fair game. You know, price could come and take any of them. So if you watch, this is your, let's say, they're all fair game, all fair game, all fair game. Price could take it, but then I'm not trying to get ahead of myself. We're going to see how price develops, you know, and we're going to react accordingly. But for now, I won't be trading this market. I'll just be on the sidelines because, I mean, we're just consolidating. So for GU, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. In fact, GU is more pronounced. You see, we're almost at this high, right? We're almost at this high, almost at this high. And watch this. We have this low and this high as the major swing, right? All this is internal. So we've swept this low on this. We could go as far as hitting this high too, right? But I would like to see GU go all the way to this point and not necessarily go above this high. But I mean, you can't rule it out. We can rule it out because what we had here is basically just a sweep, right? It's basically just a sweep. And what I have here is this high the liquidity because, yeah, they're just liquidity. I mean, it makes perfect sense to expect this highs to be around, right? Because look at, there's a zone here. There's a zone here. There's an order block here. There's a resistance here. I'm trying to go through all the terminology so that you see that it's cuts across every strategy, right? So price for me, I would prefer to see price take this highs into this place to give me a very strong conviction on taking a short trade, right? Trading from this place, it's possible, but as you can see, we've already hit it, and this is what we're getting, a consolidation. So if EU is to continue higher and dollar is to continue lower, it's expected that G as well will continue higher. And these highs look like prime liquidity for me, right? Prime liquidity. These highs are prime liquidity. So I would actually wait for price to get into this zone here before looking for a sell. Then when it gets into this zone, you also have to be patient to get your confirmation, right? Your confirmation. You don't just go into the trade. You need to see this happen here on, let's say, the 4 hour or the 1 hour time frame before you can decide to take a trade here. Okay? All right. So what next? Yeah, this guy is already breaking out, right? So it ties down with all I've been saying about this other place, right? We're going higher. Yeah, over here, I was saying I needed to see price come into this zone, right? And then continue higher. And that's what we've gotten here so far. So I think AU is a bit stronger now at the moment. AU is a bit stronger at the moment, right? Whereas AU is a bit stronger at the moment. Yeah. So we could see a continuation of this on AU. AU could be a very clean trade anyway, right? So this has been invalidated. So we're continuing from here. So we could see a continuation here to go sweep liquidity, right? That's the high. Yes, that's the high. So good. So you could see a pullback into the zone. So yeah, if I'm to take any trade right now, it will be AU, right? It will be AU. So if we get a pullback, if we get a pullback into this zone, right? We had this, there was no sweep, so uh, no sweep. So I'll cover this low. Let me cover this low. I mean, the most ideal place to place your stop loss would be here, right? But I think we already hit that, and then we've created, yeah. So price shouldn't go below this, right? Price shouldn't go below this. So then my target would be here as my first target, or whatever high is formed here, right? Whatever high is formed here would be my first target, right? Whatever high is formed here would be my first target. So let's see how this plays out. Let's see how it plays out, right? I'd like to see price pull back and then we get the signature in price, you know, on the lower time frame. right? Need to see this on a lower time frame. So once price gets into this zone, maybe even take out this low as liquidity, you know. I like to see liquidity sweeps. I love to see it gives me adds a bit of you know it's a bit of confidence for me. So we had this sweep here into the zone, right? And price broke out. Once price broke out, we had this low here. So you could see a sweep below this, right? You could see a sweep below this low. And then yeah. So this is 2 hour. 2 hour for a counter trade is not bad. And if we were to take it up to this point, that would be like 4 hour, right? Yes. So I mean, depending on the the lower time frame confirmation you get, it could be even less. The 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 stops could be even less, right? Could be less. So and then which will also increase the risk to reward. But for me, the most important high would be the immediate high. That would be your target. So once you get that swept or taken out, you should be leaving the market, right? You uh shouldn't be greedy this period. Yeah. So yes. So we're bullish on NU as well. You can see that NU is also reacting off of this place. We are building daily structure and bullish structure on this side, and we're pulling back. So uh, we still have this zone here. In this is a fair value gap that price could hit before reversing, right? Because we had this mini break, pull back, a sweep, and then another break of structure. So it's between this and this, but I wouldn't be looking to trade this at the moment. Right, let's just see how it goes. Counter trades, like I said, not my thing. But once in a while, I do take them though. But it needs to meet all my criteria, right? It's like I need to see everything that I'm looking for. So yeah, this high could be swept. In fact, we're already close to, so this high could be swept into this other block, right? And then price continues, right? So we have this inverted fair value gap that can be used as liquidity. So if we're going to um, react off of this bullish order block here, we could come bearish order block, sorry, we could come here, react here, and take it higher. So the weekly fair value gap. This is now it's inverted this inverted this. So we could see something like this. It's inverted it. So you could see price trading back into this inverted fair value gap to then go higher, even taking this high here, right? So let's see. We go to the 4 hour, it might make, yeah. This one will be swept. This high will be swept. So we could sweep it into this zone. So let's see how price develops. All right, let's see how price develops. This pair, we're forming a fair value gap here, which I'd like to see price react off of and then continue down. So one day fair value gap, I'd like to see price do. Let's see how today's candle closes, right? Okay, it's going to close in a few seconds, right? No, not necessarily 50 seconds. In 17 hours. This candle is going to close in 17 hours. So once it closes, I'd like to see price, you know, tag here and then go lower. But mm, yeah, so that's all for now. That's all for now. Yeah. So yes, so this is a clear target, right? Let's see if we could get a trade here. All right, so there are two positions I might be looking to take a trade. If we get a pullback during London, right, you could take this. If we get a pullback during London, right, you take this, right, and then target this low. That's only if we don't take this low before London, right? If this low is left and then price just starts retracing to the top, then you could take here and target the low. Stop loss just above this. We push it here. So that's 1 to 2, right? Or you could wait for price to get to this point, drop to a lower time frame, and you know the drill by now. You look for the signature move, right? You look for a sweep of liquidity, right? You look for a break of structure, market structure shift, and there you continue to take high. So if you get this in price on the lower time frame, it increases your RR, right? It increases your RR, your risk to reward, right? It increases your reward and reduces your risk. So, um, yeah, that's what I'll be looking out for. This is good. We took out section liquidity. We took out, um, what is it called? Uh, London high, right? We took out London high during the New York session yesterday before this drop. So we'd like to see some reaction from this zone, you know, like to see some reaction from this zone, right? Like to see some reaction from this zone and then boom, take it down. That's all. That's all. That's all. That's all for today, folks. So that's the update for today. See you guys later. Until then, have a wonderful day and trade safe. Bye.